you listen to reason? Will you open your eyes? It's a wonder what you'll find with an open mind. You may be surprised.
Let's start off with Corey from Schenectady. How are you?
Yeah, and I'm
Good,
just
how
going
are
to
you?
remind the audience that Corey is a long-time repeat caller.
No, this is the third time, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's long enough.
Sure. You guys make the claim that you don't know how the universe got here, right? Correct?
Well, depends on what you mean by no, but yes.
So, yes.
Well, like I said, it depends on what you mean by no.
You make the claim you don't know. I've heard you say that several times. You don't know how the universe
Sure.
got here.
Before the Big Bang.
Okay, so why is it wrong for me to know?
Well,
How do you
know?
Well, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Yeah.
no, we
how do you know
that you think
that?
that? How do you know?
How do you?
Sorry, two hosts here.
How do you know it's not true?
You're shifting the burden of proof. We don't have to
Doesn't
just prove
matter.
that.
Why does that matter?
Why does it matter?
Why
Okay.
don't you have to have the burden of proof?
Because we're not the ones that are claiming that we know. I'm sorry,
Well,
Corey.
exactly. So
Corey,
if you don't know,
Corey,
why can't I know?
Corey, knowledge is not something that you simply assert. Knowledge is demonstrated. And if you make a claim to knowledge, you need to demonstrate that it's true. Otherwise,
Why
there's
is
no
that?
good. That's the way reason works.
Okay,
That's
hey,
the
Corey.
way.
Your reason.
Corey, are you infallible?
What do you mean by that?
Are you always right?
I think he means get a
Are
dictionary.
you?
Okay,
Answer
we're not.
my
I'm not playing this game. Goodbye. I'm
See,
not
I
going to.
told you this was.
I'm not going to play the are you, were you, how do you know? Why? I'll tell you why. We establish a burden of proof because we understand that the application, by the way, you said, well, that's your reason. No, there's simply reasoning. There is the critical examination of evidence. Logic is not something where I've got my logic and you've got your logic. We know why, we know what logic works and why. There's a reason why I stick to propositional logic and constructed syllogisms, at least conversationally. And there's a reason why we establish the burden of proof. And that's because in your world, Corey, you get to claim that you know and you have no burden of proof, and so can 100 other people all know answers that don't agree with yours. And so now we're in a world where there's 101 different propositions out there that all claim that they know, and none of them agree with each other, and none of them want to take on the burden of proof. And what does the reasonable person do? Nah, screw all you guys. The first one of you that can actually demonstrate that your claim is true, that's where we're going to start saying, okay, let's investigate this further and find out if it is true. But all of you who are claiming that you shouldn't have any burden of proof, there's no reason any of us should care at all what you say. You might as well be saying that you know that M&Ms created the universe, because you have just as much evidence for that.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about at the beginning, about basically why science exists. Because as far as we've recognized, there haven't been any infallible people around. We've generally observed that people can be wrong about a lot of stuff. And the point is to come to some kind of testable demonstration of your claims instead of just saying, I know this, I know it, I know it, I know it. You can't prove I don't know it.
Yeah, I love it. How do you know? Well, in the beginning, God. Well, okay,
Yeah, that
great.
wasn't how he knows what he knows. That was the thing he was claiming.
Yeah. Yeah, when we talk about, we ask people to tell us what they believe and why. The why is the important part. The
Right.
what is far less important. And if you aren't willing to address the why, then you are not being intellectually honest with yourself or us. And I don't see why we should waste any actual time on those conversations.
Right.
I find it really sad. I mean, it would be different if I was asserting a specific claim and you were asserting another claim, and you said that you don't have to provide evidence as long as I'm not going to. I could see where that could be a point made, but when you say that, when I've just pointed out that I'm not claiming to know how this happened, then I'm the one who's in the open-minded position of being willing to be convinced based on evidence, and I'm also the one who's demonstrated that they care about truth. Because if you care about truth, you look for a way to find the truth, to demonstrate that what you know maps to reality. And Corey's not interested in whether or not his knowledge maps to reality. He just believes that it's true, doesn't care about any burden of proof. Well, good for you. I mean, congratulations. You have set yourself up with a vapid, defenseless proposition. I hope it serves you well. The rest of us are going to focus on reality and try to find some truth, and we care about actually demonstrating it.
And not jumping off the Empire State Building.
Yeah.